All right, let's do a deep dive here on the Phillies' best player. So ESPN came out with a list yesterday ranking the top 100 players in baseball, of which there are 7 Phillies on the list. Now, we have a poll today, and we've narrowed it down to 4. For which of these 4 is the Phillies' best player? Here are the 4 we've gone with. These are in alphabetical order. Bryce Harper, Christopher Sanchez, Kyle Schwarber, Zack Wheeler. Now, just so you know, for point of reference, ESPN's list yesterday, the 7 players, here's how they ranked them. Sanchez, the best Philly, 19th overall in baseball. Schwarber next, 21st overall in baseball. Trey next, 26. Then Bryce, 42nd overall. Luzardo at 87. Duran at 90. Wheeler at 91. Now, I made the case yesterday, and I'll just state it again quickly. I think they dog Wheeler too much. I mean, yes, he missed the last month of last season. He's going to miss the first month or so of this season. But, I mean, I think he was their best player until he got injured, so then you got to assess.
But it's an unusual injury.
It is.
So they just don't know how he's going to
That is fair.
rebound.
That is fair. All right. So that's how they rank him. Now, let's go with how entering the 26th season, how you size them up. John Ritchie.
Mm-hmm.
The Phillies, it's not what was, because what was Bryce for a number of years. It was Bryson Wheeler. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
The question is, who is the Phillies' best player? John Ritchie, who is it?
Well, I've said I have a strong feeling Bryce is going to surge
Really?
this season. But
reemerge.
Surge.
Okay.
Reemerge, play better than what we've seen in recent years.
Become elite again?
But, yeah, actually. But Christopher Sanchez, second in NL Cy Young voting. The guy is a monster. And I don't see his improvement, stopping.
No, I mean, he's tremendous.
He continues to work, and he truly has the goods. So he's going to be the guy.
All right, so that's who ESPN says. I say Wheeler just because I'm not going to ding him that much for.
You just don't know, though.
Like, here's my thing. Jason Tatum, to me, is the best Boston Celtic. He just can't play right now. But he'll then play, and I think he's the best. I think Halliburton is the best player in the Pacers. He just can't play right now. That's the way I feel about Wheeler. That's me. James, which of these 4? By the way, Schwarber hit
second in MVP.
Hit 56 home runs for what it's worth. James, who would you say of these 4?
I think it's Christopher Sanchez as well. I get the Wheeler argument. For me, it's between those 2. If I had to pick the best, I think it is Wheeler or Sanchez. But I'd go Sanchez because of I know it's about what's moving forward.
Yep.
Wheeler's going to miss at least a month of the season, month and a half, maybe 2 months probably, if we're being real about it. And I don't know that he will be the same exact Zack Wheeler. And I think there's an argument outside of the playoffs, which is, Wheeler ascends in the playoffs.
Oh, amazing.
I think in the regular season, there's an argument that right now today, if Wheeler were healthy, Christopher Sanchez is just as good a pitcher as Zack Wheeler is. You know what I mean? Like, I think Christopher Sanchez is that great. He was second in Cy Young last year. So I think with the unknown of Wheeler and how great I think Sanchez is, I think Sanchez wins.
Rhea, who do you choose?
I'm going with Sanchez as well.
3-1.
I thought about Harper. Wheeler I just can't because I just don't know. I don't know with the injury.
Bryson Schwarber is an interesting one because Schwarber was a better hitter last year, but Bryce does play the field.
Yeah.
I mean, Schwarber, there is an advantage for you're not diving, you're not.
Your body's protected all year.
Your body's very protected. And by the way, Bryce's pretty good first baseman.
He is, and he's an aggressive player.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think this whole elite playing in the World Base, I think he's going to have a fire under him.
Bryce.
Yeah,
good.
I really do.
I think Bryce is going to have a fire under him, and I think Bryson Stott is poised to have an emergent type of year.
I feel like we say that every year.
I agree.
So I'm actually with you on Stott.
I have always really I felt strongly about Bryson Stott for a long time. If he gets into the right groove, I guess, start it. I don't know. It seems like the year's so long it can go all over the place. But Bryson Stott is so dialed into baseball. He is such a baseball nerd to begin with.
But he's got to play better.
I think he's going to be better this year.
Well,
I do.
I continue to watch him grow. I guess he's not young anymore.
No.
But he is a worker, and he is a well-rounded player.
I buy into the 294 second half last year to a point.
And what about if he starts? What about if he leads off for us? What if he's one and then Schwarber becomes the 4? I like that idea. Is that reasonable?
No, I'm not talking
about
as a leadoff hitter. I just think that Stott's going to be better this year. I do. I'm not Bohm, Marsh, all the same to me. Stott's the one of those guys where I have belief that he's going to be a better hitter.
Well, here's the way I'll frame it from a historical standpoint. Phillies history with Bryce, Schwarber, and Trey, you basically have your Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley. I mean, maybe not a total comp, but basically, what this team needs from Stott, Bohm, Marsh, down the line, they need someone to be their Shane Victorino and someone to be their Jason Worth.
That's a tall order.
It is.
I mean,
but that's what they need. They need a fourth
they
hitter
don't need
and a
Werth.
fifth hitter.
I mean, a Werth is if they had a Werth, they're a superstar.
It's
Werth was a
ridiculous.
superstar.
Well, I'm just saying, Casty was supposed to be that. He
was.
He had $100 million contract.
Yeah, they need
$100 million contract.
He should have been.
Yeah.
I agree.
And by the way, Bohm, third pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Like Bohm's sort of supposed to be that too. So
but they don't have that.
I'm just saying they need, you know what I mean? They need that. Now, I don't think they're going to get it, but it would help a lot. 215-592-9494. All right, Phil's best player, who do you think it is? Also, speaking of two Phils, one Don Mattingly, one Justin Crawford, player and coach. We'll get to some of what they said yesterday when they talked to the midday show. It was a great interviews as those guys broadcast from Clearwater.